Let's go through LeetCode 1371. Find the longest substring containing vowels in even counts. Given a string S, return the size of the longest substring containing each vowel in an even number of times. So that means for A, E, I, O, U, it need to be even number of times. And we need to find the longest length for such substring. Look at the example 1. The longest substring is let min color is this part, min color, this part. So we'll say for this part, you will see from this part, you will see E appears even number times, I appear even numbers times, O appear even numbers of times. So we'll say if we have, for example, E, right? If we can use some for example A, E, I, O, U, right? So let's consider just a E only, right? So if E appears once, for example, we can have a count like a 1, right? And if appears twice, if we can have an even number, that is the count, we have it use some property like XOR, right? Then XOR 1 again, right? So if the E is an even number, so the count, the times to XOR E will equals to 0, right? So the same thing for A, I, O, U, right? So if we see an A, then for example it is 1, right? Then see next time XOR 1. And if it appears even number, for example, 8 times, as long as it is even number, it will XOR to 1, right? So what we think about is that we can use an length 5 number to represent the A, E, I, O, U, right? And we will see for this kind of substring, if all of the vowels in it, they are even number, then that means we XOR the state, right? For example, if there is A, initially we, for example, set as 0, right? Then we XOR 1, right? If we find an E, we XOR 1, 0, right? And if we find, for example, U, right? Then we XOR 1, 0, 0, 0, 0. A, E, I, O, U, right? So that means when we do XOR for this range, if those kind of A vowels are even number, the result will be XOR result will be 0, right? So what we're thinking about is that we can use that means if from I to J, the XOR, if that we use those 5 digits number to represent the XOR of the state, right? So will be 0. And so we need to find the longest substring which have the state XOR state to be 0. So the things that we know this I to J, right? That means this I minus 1, it appears the same state as J, right? As index J. So we can use a map to store the state in the index, right? So we store the first appears index. So if those state doesn't exist, then we put that into a map. if it exists, right? So that means we have a candidate that is we for example currently that is J, right? We find the previous state that is I, right? So that means from I plus 1 to J, they have those kind of XOR state will be 0, and that means those kind of vowels are counts are even, right? So we will have a length candidate that is J minus I plus 1 plus 1, right? So that is J plus I minus I, right? So use this kind of number to compare with global longest, we'll get our results. So let's write code for this. So we can give this one as char Charlie, and we'll have int result equals 0, and we'll have n the rate of length state equals 0, right? We put a map integer called prefix sum, or map prefix sum, prefix XOR equals new hash map. So the initial state is that prefix XOR put state that is 0 at index 0, right? We add one extra index. So that let's say for int I equals 1, I smaller than n plus 1, right? I plus plus. So we'll say if array I minus 1 equals 8, right? Then we'll have state XOR equal to 1. So if this is a E, right? I O U, right? Then E is well XOR 1 shift 1, right? And this one will shift 2, and then this one shift 2, this one shift, right? So what we say, if prefix XOR contains key state, then we'll have result equals max result, and should be I minus prefix XOR hit state, right? Else, if I suppose that into result, we have prefix XOR put state, right? In the end, we just return result. The time complexity will be ON, right? Space we use a map. So the worst case is that we actually the map will say it will be 2 to the power 5, only to the power 5 states, right? So we the um, we just store this kind of constant keys. So what's this space where this is also like a constant. Um, O in time complexity. Let's write this one as Python code. So we have a result and state prefix XOR equals 0. This S, right? And state initially it is 0 and put 0 there as a prefix XOR. So for I in range from 1 to n plus 1, right? If array, if s I equals a, right? Then we're going to have state XOR equal to 1. If this one is E, right? So that's why XOR 1 shift 1 space. A, E, I, XOR shift 2 space, right? And A, I, O, and U, right? So now what we do is that we need to check the prefix XOR, whether it contains these states or not. So we'll say if state in prefix XOR, then we'll have result equals max result prefix XOR. Should I minus, right? I minus prefix XOR state. Else we just have prefix XOR state equals I. In the end, we just return result. Should I minus 1? Because for our prefix sum, we normally have an actual index because we put a 0 index at the beginning. So the array or the S index is one index smaller than prefix index. Okay.